100 virus points to exchange for the formula. Not everyone can be immune to the virus, and only those with an extremely strong physique can resist it. After completing the task, the male lead stepped out the door, happily waving in greeting. Song Ziqiang, tell everyone to come in. Do you all remember what I said before we set off? 4 girls were waiting for Chenbai, and now they were ready. Song Ziqiang walked in front, confidently picking up a bat and replying, I remember. Only Luli felt disgusted. Song Ziqiang tapped her bat, enthusiastically repeating what Chenbai had said. Using cold weapons to kill zombies greatly reduces the chance of turning into a monster. Killing zombies with bare hands will definitely not turn into a monster. After Song Ziqiang finished speaking, Chenbai grabbed a zombie's neck and extended forward. All right, then let me see your strength. 1 for each. Who's coming first? It seemed Song Ziqiang would be the first. But after putting on gloves, the skeleton spoke first. Let me do it. Chenbai decisively let go, and the zombie quickly ran toward the skeleton. At this moment, the skeleton also rushed forward and confronted it head-on. At the point of contact, the skeleton used her flexible body to throw the small zombie, spinning it around. The zombie was a man, but it was thrown to the ground by the woman skeleton, who looked at it with pain as it rolled its eyes. The strength was so great that the zombie's spinal cord was shattered, and tomato sauce sprayed out. Chenbai was very satisfied, smiling lightly and complimenting, fast and precise. It was Song Ziqiang's turn. She swung the stick in her hand and hit a zombie in a C-shaped arc, causing it to spew out tomato sauce on the spot. Not only that, but Song Ziqiang also struck its temple fiercely, hitting it several times, and the zombie's face completely collapsed, falling to the ground looking unrecognizable. Chenbai stood aside, arms crossed, looking somewhat dissatisfied. He stroked his chin and sighed. Not enough strength, it fell once, but you need to hit it more than 10 times. Next, it was her turn. The zombie was beaten like a rag doll, its eyes rolled back, unable to move, looking very pitiful. Next to the zombie was Su Xian, lying on the ground, her legs clamped around it, gasping for breath. Chenbai stood by, feeling a bit bored. He directly mocked, you're too weak, you were actually knocked down by the zombie. Seeing her daughter scared to fight the zombie, Song Ziqiang walked over to encourage her. Song girl. Only one left. Song girl, with tears in her eyes, tightly held her stick. Oh my god, I didn't expect this girl to already wet her pants before even making a move. Song Ziqiang tried to get closer, shaking her daughter to give her more determination. But Song girl, pampered since childhood, lacked bravery, and tightly hugged the stick, shouting, I can't do it, I can't do it. Chenbai just glanced at her and said, you got scared before you even fought, failure. Chenbai walked over to the distance and called out to Song Ziqiang, come here. She was comforting her daughter and replied, okay. As he put his hands in his pockets, he walked leisurely and assigned the task, Lang Jiao has been to all. The place is rumored to have zombies and monsters, but found nothing. This situation is abnormal, go investigate it clearly. Song Ziqiang dragged her feet behind, looking back at her daughter and replied, yes. Then she hesitated and said, Chenbai, Song girl. Chenbai didn't turn back, just scolded, too bad, especially Song girl. I don't have time to train her slowly, you arrange it yourself. But then Song Ziqiang, with a hopeful look in her eyes, said, but without you, the virus elimination ability will. Chenbai didn't wait for her to finish, directly handing her an A4 sheet of paper, which startled her. He said seriously, take this. After picking up the paper and looking at it for a moment, Song Ziqiang realized, the formula for the zombie virus serum? She continued in shock, the process is too complicated. Chenbai reached back to Pat and continued to guide Song Ziqiang, you can put the materials into this formula and make the serum yourself. That's the value of this recipe. Song Ziqiang then understood. She smiled with satisfaction and said in a low voice, thank you for your trust, I will do my best to complete the task and take good care of this formula. Chen felt it was enough and prepared to leave. He put his hands in his pockets, turned, and said, you go ahead, have someone send me back. After leaving, Chen looked at his phone, beginning to think about the current situation. There should be many people who saw the post I published. I wonder if anyone has contacted me. Chen read through every comment on his account. One account wrote, "I'm the strongest on the grass. First met the white emperor and blue emperor, then returned, expression like a dog." The next comment. "Lazy for 30 years, heard you can answer my question, I have a high math problem, don't know if you can handle it?" Another account wrote, "Hello, pioneer, I'm the fool in biochemistry." Then, building forum. Uploading a picture, 3 points of experience. After that, White Emperor is the ancestor of mutants. I warn you again not to reveal mutant information on ordinary social platforms. Finally, boss doesn't pay salary, nice imagination. Which mental hospital did you escape from? Want to write a novel? After reading, Chen sighed helplessly, what's all this? Just then, something on his phone caught Chen attention, and he was startled. A stranger's private message account was named I am not deep money, and the message read, that matter, my big brother knows. I am the one who opened the way for you, your big brother knows. Big brother, why haven't you replied to the message I sent? You must have seen it by now. Our male protagonist began replying seriously to the messages from the I am not deep money account, whose name was White Emperor, the Pathfinder. Chen immediately added the deep money account to the chat room. In the chat room, Han Xiao sent a message, really? I'll change the group name first. Chen remembered a man with long hair, fair and clean, and he looked like a dangerous person. Quickly typing on his phone keyboard, Chen wrote a reply, sure, if you think there are other Pathfinders, you can invite them all in. On the road to increasing his strength, Chen seemed to discover more interesting things. His gaze became more determined, and a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, haha. A notification popped up in the group chat, welcome Shuichuan to the chat room. At 7:30 p.m., Lu Li received a task given to her by Song Ziqiang. She stood in a messy alley. Then, Lu Li's expression showed some worry as she continued, I sent people to gather more information. Now is the agreed meeting time, but they haven't come back. I think. The scene transitions, and we hear Lu Li's voice from outside, no need to wait anymore. After saying that, she walked out of the alley and saw a man and a woman on the ground, seemingly unconscious bodies, as if knocked out by someone. The girl was so scared she almost squatted down and kept trembling, she seemed to be crying. At this sight, a man's laughter came from above, haha. It was a handsome young man with a refined look, sitting on a car door, waving his hand and calling out, hey. The trembling Lu Li heard him call her name and was suddenly startled. The little girl was still shaking. She looked up and said, hey, I've been spotted. Transition to Song Ziqiang's villa, where the day was sunny. On the phone screen, 2 messages from an account named Lu Cheng appeared. Chen sitting in a chair, comfortably read through Lu Cheng's information. He replied to the message, the cost of unlocking abilities is quite high. A normal person's initial ability is only about 3 to 5 points. Seeing her, Chen turned his head and said, why so urgent, what happened? Song Ziqiang said with a worried expression, Lu Li found out that all the collected bodies will be sent to the container yard, but Lu Li has been captured. The enemy wants me to negotiate. As soon as she finished speaking, Chen suddenly stood up and asked, did the enemy contact you? Or did Lu Li leak your information? These words made Song Ziqiang doubt, and she suddenly widened her eyes, as if realizing something. Under Chen cold and serious gaze, Song Ziqiang hurriedly lowered her head and quickly explained. Master, Lu Li is the one I trained. I'm sure she won't betray us, besides, this time she was only giving instructions behind the scenes. The problem might lie with the people she sent to investigate. Chen Bai lowered his voice slightly and said softly, in that case, I will save her. Tong Ziqiang supported herself and stood up, smiling and thanking him. Thank you, master. The scene shifts to the container area led by Kai, where Lu Li is tightly bound to a chair. A man stands beside her, pouring wine onto a table that looks very expensive. This man is called Miss Lu Li. The man who had waved to Lu Li earlier was now shaking his wine glass while leaning on the table. This man is Xing Meng, who has a bad boy aura but is still quite handsome. Xing Meng spoke with an arrogant tone, trying to persuade Lu Li, it seems you've misunderstood something? I didn't touch you out of respect for Tong Ziqiang. If you choose to submit to me, you'll become my subordinate. If not, then, he squinted his eyes, and his tone turned threatening, you will be my toy. Lu Li, weak and bound to the expensive chair, felt scared upon seeing Xing Meng's cruelty. A broken glass of wine lay at her feet, scattered on the floor. He then brought the wine glass close to Lu Li's face, saying from behind, come on, let me pour you another drink. Spitting is not allowed. Lu Li tried to dodge. Her legs trembled as she struggled to push against the ground to resist this man. With a sharp tone, he said, if you don't drink the wine I offer, then the punishment drink won't be pleasant. He didn't care at all that the steak on the table was being sliced and enjoyed by someone, looking very delicious. Chen Bai appeared out of nowhere, holding a high-quality steak, and calmly said, such a lack of manners, who knew the lady didn't like wine? Both Xing Meng and Lu Li were surprised by the sudden appearance of the male protagonist. Xing Meng frowned in confusion, thinking to himself, when did this person sit here? Chen Bai stood up and held out the steak in front of her, deliberately provoking, are you hungry? I've tried this steak, it's fine to eat. Lu Li, saved by the boy, blushed with gratitude. Xing Meng swung his hand and slowly stepped back, asking, who are you? Chen Bai didn't answer Xing Meng's question, but instead gently fed Lu Li a bite of steak and softly said to her, I've come to take you home. This might be the most delicious steak Lu Li has ever had. As the boy fed her, Lu Li felt so happy that a radiant glow of happiness spread over her, and she became emotionally moved by Chen Bai. Leaning on the chair, Xing Meng swirled his wine glass and calmly asked Chen Bai, did Tong Ziqiang send you? It's the first time someone hasn't been discovered by me. Chen Bai untied the ropes binding Lu Li, and the ropes fell to the floor at her feet. Chen Bai still ignored Xing Meng, gently advising Lu Li, let's go, Tong Ziqiang is waiting for you in the car. Lu Li quickly left and replied, okay. Xing Meng, seeing Chen Bai's aura, immediately guessed and said directly, it seems Tong Ziqiang is already one of yours. Chen Bai answered without hesitation. He stared directly at Xing Meng and decisively replied, that's right. Xing Meng strode forward, making loud footsteps, and laughed angrily, saying, interesting, interesting. In contrast, Chen Bai remained very calm. Then, Xing Meng pointed the empty wine glass at Chen Bai and said, the Queen of Jiangcheng shouldn't easily submit, you must have many tricks. Xing Meng poured another glass of wine for Chen Bai, starting to create an atmosphere, we can exchange ideas. I'm interested in certain things. Among the three major forces in Jiangcheng, I've conquered the city lord, you've conquered the queen. Now only the commander remains. Then, Xing Meng walked slowly toward Chen Bai with 2 glasses of wine, continuing to tempt him, help me. Become the king of Jiangcheng, and we can make you a trusted aide. Come, let's toast. He said a lot. Chen Bai just lightly lifted the corner of his mouth and coldly said 3 words, I refuse. No one had ever treated Xing Meng so arrogantly before, which greatly surprised and embarrassed him. As a result, the 2 glasses of wine, just poured, were smashed on the floor. The expression on Xing Meng's face showed discomfort, and he said to you, beginning to threaten, I'm not afraid to tell you, my talent is S level, the highest rank. Or do you also like drinking penalty wine? In the face of Xing Meng's momentum, Chen Bai still acted very calmly. Jiang crossed his hands and walked closer, saying, "I've already observed before I came. You not only collect corpses, but also make corpses from living people." After exposing Xing Meng, Chen Bai continued, "Someone like you, with great power, will only bring harm. It's better to die early." After saying these words, Chen Bai's attitude became even more terrifying. He showed a dangerous smile. Lowering his voice, "Also, you're not worthy of having me as your deputy, because my talent is 3S. At this moment, Xing Meng used spiritual power on his right hand, and his hand was quickly covered by sharp and rough claws. Xing Meng said, "Haha, my talent is Slaughter Star Evolution, which can transfer part of the target's attributes to myself, and it can continue to develop." Proudly showing off claws as hard as steel, with sparks of electricity flashing all over them, looking terrifying. This guy continued proudly, "This high-level invincible ability is just S-level, and your 3S seems close to becoming a god." On the surface, Chen Bai confidently responded to this guy, "Sort of, but I can't tell you." But in his mind, he thought, "I didn't expect it to be a pure combat-type talent, constantly developing, and claws, probably equipment." Xing Meng charged forward, using his wolf-like claws to pounce at Chen Bai, roaring loudly, "Arrogant, after you die, I hope you can help me enhance my attributes. Don't let me down." The two fought. The speed of S-level and 3S level was so fast that all one could see was a big flash of light in the air and two strikes from both sides. Chen Bai also used his virus magic power, and his mutated arm turned into claws stronger than Xing Meng's. After they landed, they drew their magic blades and continued to fight. Seeing the situation was wrong, Xing Meng erupted with power. He suddenly used his berserk killing technique. His outer clothes ripped open, revealing swollen muscles, very eye-catching, and his eyes shone like two flashlights. Xing Meng said, "So it's a transformation talent, quite interesting, but still not strong enough." Compared to Xing Meng, Chen Bai seemed to make no new moves. He was thinking, "It looks like he hasn't revealed his real ability yet. I don't know what effect this skill has. I need to be more careful." Xing Meng leaped up, swinging a punch, with spiritual power condensed on his sharp claws. Chen Bai tightly gripped his left hand, his fist ready like a hammer to meet the confrontation. Boom! The collision of two great forces, with one green and one purple energy interacting, representing the heavy strikes of S-level and 3S level. The two massive forces shook the surroundings, causing the environment to suffer damage, and shockwaves scattered everywhere. On the container dock, Chen Bai and Xing Meng fought until it was almost dark. The surroundings started to be damaged, and Chen Bai used a single move to knock Xing Meng flying. But it didn't matter, as he successfully supported himself with his left foot on the ground and steadied himself by bending his knee. He then rushed again, one hand tightly gripping a fist and swinging it toward Chen Bai. Chen Bai forcefully resisted, tightly gripping his hand, and continued swinging punches at Xing Meng. But he quickly grabbed Chen Bai's fist, the big fist firmly held in his palm. Xing Meng smugly asked, "Are you all right? How come I've just started, and you're already exhausted?" Both hands grabbed Chen Bai's fist, and the two fought, exerting all their strength to strike each other. We, from the south, are all working hard. But it could be seen that Chen Bai was already trembling during his confrontation with Xing Meng. He continued to provoke, "Aren't you 3S talent? Stop hiding your strength, let it out." Chen Bai said, "My talent has already shown itself, it's just that you didn't notice." Estimating the opponent's strength, Xing Meng confidently swung both his hands, continuing to pour his talents. Spiritual power into them, the rotating strong power. Xing Meng triumphantly shouted, still talking tough. The next moment was Chen Bai's shocked and stunned expression. He widened his eyes to face the attack Xing Meng was about to launch. Just like that, Xing Meng's strike sent Chen Bai flying, crashing into the opposite container, with a powerful force that created a deafening sound. Xing Meng widened his eyes, looking at Qin Bai's performance, and mocked, "Your physical strength and agility are worse than mine, yet you still like to put on